Hi, Dr. Adelia Krebs here from Tiger Medical Institute. I'm just answering the question today, how much of weight gain is genetic? So I've broken it down into two sections, the genetic factors for weight gain as well as the environmental factors. So overall, weight gain is more leaning towards the environmental side in that pretty much any genetic makeup can attain an optimal weight with the right environmental factors. So that being said, there are a number of genes that play a big part in body type, as well as your metabolism overall and your metabolism of certain foods. So there are definitely genes linked with obesity. There are genes linked with overeating and a lack of satiety. So there's the MC4R gene, which is associated with snacking. There's the FTO gene, which is associated with low satiety. And there's also the ApoA2 gene, which is associated with gaining weight from saturated fats. And then there's also hormonal genes as well that can play a part. So both men and women that are more estrogen dominant, so both men and women can be more estrogen dominant than the average person of their sex. They can put on more adipose or fat tissue. And then also on the other side, people who are more androgen dominant, so that's things like testosterone and DHT for their sex, would be more likely to build lean muscle mass at the gym, for example. So hormone profile can definitely play a part. And the other thing that can play a part is the cognitive mental health genes. So especially coupled with some of the diet and metabolism genes, they can make you more prone to stress eating and either addictive behavior or binging behavior. So some of the genes that may be associated are ones like COMT, COMT, or ADRA2B, which relates to stress response and fear response, or 5-HTT-LPR, which relates to serotonin transport. So people with some of those genes may be more prone to stress eating, particularly when coupled with some other diet and metabolism genes. And then the other thing is environmental factors. So overall, you can definitely stack the odds in your favor. And it bears repeating that people with any genetic profile can attain their optimal weight with the right environment. So in terms of the environmental factors, things like suboptimal sleep can increase cravings. Diet can definitely play a huge part. Food additives can play a big part because they can throw off hunger signals. And countries like the USA don't necessarily have the same food laws or laws around food additives as other countries like in Europe, for example. So that can play a really big part too. If you have a high glycemic diet, so one with lots of refined grains and sugars, you're more likely to get glycemic crashes in blood sugar, which lead to cravings, which lead to overeating. So what you eat, not just how much you eat, plays a big part as well. Things like alcohol, because that has all sorts of hidden sugars and calories, and it can also lead to cravings and just eating the wrong things. And a sedentary lifestyle, of course, you're just not burning the calories that you might be taking in. Hormone imbalances, so that also can relate to the genes. And then also stress eating or emotion-driven eating. So there are a bunch of environmental factors, and overall those outweigh the genetic factors. But if you work with the right health coach, naturopathic doctor, or medical doctor that has a functional root cause leaning, they can help you look into the genetic factors as well as your labs and your individual makeup to figure out what the best diet is for you and what the factors are at play in terms of meeting your weight loss goals.